name online everywhere. And it was very hard to start to take my name away from that company and the different things that it was now doing. And I thought, wow, I don't ever want to be in this situation again where I build something up, the company does something I don't like, and now what do I do? All my earnings are from that marketing, but I'm no longer comfortable. So I find with a personal brand, number one, it's more secure because you own it and you can decide what to do. But also number two, it's flexible. If you want to give different offers, you can do. And then also, I find that with a personal brand, it's easier to make a sale. Like someone can trust one person quicker than they can trust an entire brand, like an entire product or an entire company or something corporate. So if I say, hey, my name is Richard and this is my background and this is what I do and this is how I help people, that's very easy to understand. Whereas if I say, hey, my name is Richard, I'm just a part of this big company or this big product, and I start trying to sell people that, it's very hard for them. They have to trust me and they have to trust the product and they have to trust the business. So I just found a personal brand was, it's just more easy in order for us to build. And then also as well, you want to attract leads that buy easily. And so I found that with a personal brand, they're used to my face, they're used to my voice. The second I send them a message or they jump on a Zoom call, instantly they go, "Oh yeah, I know this guy. I recognize this guy. This is what I was expecting." When I did sort of corporate branding, they were like, "Well, who's the owner here? Who's the main person here? Are you a leader here?" And it just got quite difficult. So yeah, personal brand, that is, you pick an audience, you pick a way in which you're going to help them, and you pick content that will give them value. Then you bring them into a community or your funnel, and that's when you can then get specific with the company that you've got or the product that you've got. We can get them to raise their hand at that point. That's how I still do it now and how I've always done it. Sure. Mm, sure. Sure. Mm, mm, mhm. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Mm, Mm, sure. Yeah. Sure, sure, yeah. So the good thing is when we don't have like a really big mass brand, we can try these things without having to sort of start from scratch. So if you think about the numbers of people that follow you closely, like it won't be that many. There won't be like hundreds of thousands of people that are, waiting for every video. And so it's the same with me. So I'm able to try different things that I want to, and it won't mess up the brand. So if you want to make a video or you want to create some content around that result, around any result, you can do that. It won't mess your brand up. The only time that that would not be a good idea is if the idea that you're going to try goes against what you're saying normally. So, for example, if I had a product for vegetarians and then I decided to try talking about steak, that wouldn't be a good idea because one is opposite to the other. But I can talk about plenty of ideas and things to do with me, especially because I've got a personal brand and people are following me as a person. I'm able to talk about different aspects. And if you think about it, I do that in a lot of my programs too. I don't just talk about YouTube. I'm like, hey, guess what? Here's some personal performance things that are very important that have helped me. Here's an alchemy folder, setting your goals. I don't just talk about YouTube. I'll say, hey, here's how we can use adverts. Here's how we can use branding. Here's how we can use communities. So you are able to give different pieces of advice and different value around different ideas. It won't mess your brand up. What I would say is treat it as a project. So if you're thinking, right, I want to talk more about specific about health to people middle age who want to, be in better shape, want to be in better health, think about maybe 4 or 5 different topics that you would like to cover that would help that. And what you can do in that content is you can offer them something in relation to that content. So if I was going to do the same thing, if I was going to talk about how I keep in good shape, keep in good health, I would create some kind of free PDF or free audio, and I would say, hey, I've given you 4 or 5 minutes there talking about my morning routine. If you want the full morning routine, put your name and email on this page and I can send you a copy, or join my community and I have it inside of there. So I would have a way that those people can raise their hand so you can see who the ones are who are interested in that. Either a lead capture page, a community, even just a DM you, something where the content we put out there, we want to have people raise their hands so we can then go individually with them. But you won't harm your brand talking about health, talking about wellness. That's not something that people get offended by. It doesn't go against anything. So you can mix that in. Something that's useful is if you think about sort of the 4 or 5 areas of your life that are very important to you, anything that you have a result in, anything you're passionate about, a hobby. So if you think about my brand, yes, I'm teaching network marketers how to grow their business, but I always mention I'm a family man. I always mention, come from a single parent background, come from, 328 no's in a row. It wasn't easy for me at the start. I mentioned that, I'm a married man. I mentioned I'm into health and fitness. I used to do martial arts. So all these things, I can still mention them. It just lets people relate to me better. It doesn't suddenly make them think, oh, well, if Richard enjoys exercise, I'm not going to listen to him about network marketing. So you could absolutely try that. Just make it part of your brand. You can always be mainly around one area, but you can definitely try these other things, especially on something like TikTok. I think TikTok does really well with products, like business to customers. TikTok tends to do really well. So if you did want to do some kind of product reviews or product recommendations and it was mainly around your health, I think TikTok would be a good place for those. I see a lot of people doing well with TikTok on those type of areas. YouTube for longer videos for sure. Social media is more like getting someone to click and go somewhere else. But TikTok, good for products. YouTube is still best for education. You can talk about that, like, sorry, Kim, I just thought of it. You can talk about always talk about that in relation to network marketing if you want to. So you can keep it separate. You can just say, "Hey, I usually do content about network marketing, but something very important to me is being in good health, and I often get questions around as a middle-aged man, how do I keep in shape? So I thought I'd give you some ideas on that." You can do that, or you can talk about, as a network marketing business owner, it's not an easy business to build. You have to have energy, you have to have consistency, you have to be healthy to be able to perform as a business owner. So I thought I'd give you some ideas around keeping in better health so that if you are a network marketer, you can build your business. No good if you're going to get tired, no good if you're unhealthy. So, you can share any subject you like, either as something separate or in relation to your main topic. You have, with a personal brand, you have the flexibility to do whichever you think's the best. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Ken. But it's just experience and repetition, and I've done this obviously a lot of times with a lot of different people, and I think a lot of times it's kind of confidence. We don't want to do something that will this make a mess for me? Will this work for me? What will people think? Will it confuse them? And really, we have all this in our brain. But if we think about the people that you see in your newsfeed, as long as they're not talking about something very offensive, it wouldn't matter. Even if, like, say, Eric Worre, right? Probably the biggest marketer in network marketing is Eric Worre. Imagine if he suddenly said, "Hey, I've been getting in a lot better shape lately. It's really helping me build my business. I thought I'd share some suggestions on that." You wouldn't suddenly think, "Oh, I don't want to listen to Eric about network marketing anymore." It wouldn't be offensive. The only problem would be if you start getting into, politics, race, all the subjects that are really, not just easy to discuss. As long as you're avoiding things that could be offensive, people aren't going to mind it. And as long as you can talk about some kind of benefit that you've received. Hey, this is the reason why I want to share this. So if I was to talk about health, I'd say the same thing I just said to you. The reason I'm so consistent, the reason I've been able to build this business is one of the reasons is because I keep myself in good shape. Here's my suggestions for you. So I can talk about that because I've got even just a little bit of experience in it. So you can think of a whole bunch of subjects about things that have really helped you, and you can talk about those. And sometimes when you do that, you find your audience really likes one of these subjects and you never even realized it. So it's good to test these things out, because if you do them and it doesn't make a difference, at least you're not on the fence anymore. You're not wondering about it. You're not stressed about it. You go, well, I tried that and there was no problem, so I can do it again if I want to. You've opened a door. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. 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 Yeah, and you can ask the question to people, like, when people came I started to do this when I very first went away from just network marketing. I started to offer coaching as well, and I started to offer, I don't know if you remember MLSP. It was like an affiliate system. So I partnered with MLSP. That's how I found Ray, actually, was through MLSP. So I had my network marketing company, and then now I had MLSP, and I was also starting to coach. So I had 3 things. And the problem I faced was, well, how do I know what someone's interested in? I don't want to start asking people, hey, do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy? I didn't feel comfortable with that. So you can do the same. You can simply ask people a question. If they're in your inbox, if they're interested in your posts, I just started asking people, hey, what describes you best? You're looking to join a new network marketing company, or you'd like some help to build the one that you're in? And so all I had to do was ask that question. They would answer. Now I knew which offer would be best for them. So you can do the same thing. Hey, thanks for reaching out. Happy to help. Let me just ask you a quick question. Are you looking to join a business, or are you looking to perform better in the business that you're in? Are you looking to improve your health? I discussed all these things on my brand. Which one are you interested in? And so you can always just ask them that question, and they will let you know. Oh, you did a video a month ago about better health. I was interested in the products that you take. Yeah, no problem. Let me send you some information on that. Or yeah, my health is fine. I'm following you because I want to join an opportunity and make some extra income. Okay, let me explain that to you. So you don't need to worry about doing these different things, because if someone does reach out to you, you're able to ask them a clarifying question. They will let you know, and then you can be clear on, what the information is that they want. Excellent. Hmm. Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, podcasting is brilliant. I mean, I would highly recommend it, and it's very easy to do because you can take the audio files from your videos as episodes if you want to. I do that a lot, so it's no extra work. And you can, a lot of times, if I don't have time to do a video, but I want to speak about something, I will do a podcast because it's so much quicker. You record the audio, you upload the file, and then the file is sent to iTunes, it's sent to Spotify. So there's very little work to do. So I use Libsyn.com. I find that really easy to use. I just put the file in that software, and it takes it to all the different places, and it's very cheap as well. I think you can start for like $10 a month or something. It's not expensive. So yeah, and again, I would name it after you. I named my podcast Network Marketing Truth. Um, it's helped in the way that obviously it has network marketing in the title, but sometimes I wish that I'd called it something like Richard Matheru's podcast or something, because again, it's sometimes I feel like I haven't been able to talk about certain topics. Like I'd love to talk more about coaching. I'd love to talk more about affiliate marketing. I don't really feel like I can do that on a podcast named Network Marketing Truth. Um, so have you got sort of any idea? Would it be the same kind of content for your podcast? Would it be like to help network marketers, health? Would it just be something where you put out lots of thoughts? Have you had an idea on the type of podcast you'd make? Okay. sure. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. You can name it what you like. Have you reached that part in the Tube Alchemy program? Because in the bonus section, I do walk you through how. Yeah, so I would follow that. I would follow that process exactly. You use Libsyn because it's easy and cheap. Um, follow the naming procedure. You can change it. Like if down the line you wanted to change the name, you wanted to do a different direct, you can do that. It's quite easy to do inside that software. You just change the title, you change the picture, and then within a day or so, everywhere that the podcast is will be updated. So you're not stuck. It's not like on, say, on YouTube where all the videos are there, and if you change the channel, it's quite hard to, all the videos are there when people scroll. People don't really scroll through podcast episodes visually. They tend to just find it, subscribe, and then the next episode comes and the next episode comes. But it's worth it. Like I've got, I think about 650 or 750,000 downloads of a podcast, and all I did was set it up one time, and then now a lot of the time just take my audio file from my YouTube video and just put it in that other place. So for the sake of clicking to upload a file and clicking publish, hundreds of thousands of extra downloads. So it's definitely worth doing. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it's easier than doing video because no one's looking at you. So when you're recording an audio, you just, I don't know, it's easier to concentrate. And I also found with podcasts that people will listen to them longer than they'll watch videos because they're usually doing something else. So with a video, they tend to have it on their phone and they're watching it. Whereas with a podcast, it will be where they're commuting or when they're in the gym or they're working and they have it on in the background. So you can usually get more information across in a podcast because people are less likely to just click away. They'll just let it run as they're doing something else. So go for it. Like give yourself a launch date. Set a date when you know you've got like a day or two where you could set things up. Give yourself that date and then go for it. If it doesn't work, if like 2 months from now you find you just don't have the time to be doing it, or it's stressing you out, you can easily close it down, or pause it, the subscription, and you haven't lost anything other than trying a new idea. Whenever I've got an idea, unless it's going to cause a problem in my business, I would always recommend trying it because you look at the best and the worst case scenario. Okay, if I was to start a podcast, the worst case is it doesn't work, and I've spent a couple of days to find that out. So that's okay. That's not bad. The best case is my podcast ends up becoming really popular, and I get lots and lots of leads and lots of sales and really enjoy it. So when we look at those options, we say, I can have a go at this and not really lose anything. It's not going to cost me anything other than a really small amount of money and a small amount of time. And it will allow me to free myself up of wondering if that will work or not. So if ever you have an idea, it's not going to cause a painful problem. Try it, go for it, see if it works. Yes, and it's in the bonus section. Yeah, it's in the bonus section. It might be, it might not be. I remember having an affiliate link with them. I don't know if I ever use it. Don't worry about that, Ken. Like if you find, I think the link is in there, but if it just takes you to the main website, I'm just most interested that you get things set up the way you want to get them set up. So yeah, whatever the easiest is. It's libsyn.com. I still use that same service now. Still use it for my podcast. It is really easy. Once you follow that setup process, all you'll have to do is put an MP3 file in that system, and it will send it to iTunes, it will send it to Spotify, it will send it everywhere for you. So it makes it really easy. Mhm. Mhm. Mm. Yeah, definitely. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah, that's how I started to build my brand. Remember I mentioned MLSP? So that was exactly the same. MLSP was training resources for network marketers, and you had an affiliate link. And so what I would do is I was starting to learn from Ray through MLSP. And so whenever I would be talking in my content, I would usually do like because I didn't have many ideas back then, I didn't have many results. So what I would do is I would go into MLSP the same as you can go into my school group. I would watch a video and then I would create like a little summary of that video. That would be my content. So I might say, let's say you were my coach. I might say, hey, I've just learned something really useful from my mentor Ken. There's a video where he's in a training. He's talking about about lead generation, and he gives you three places where you can generate good quality leads. I just want to create a quick summary because I feel this is really useful, and it'd be useful for you as a network marketer too. And then at the end of the video, I say, and also if you want to watch this same full training beyond this quick summary, I'll leave you a link to the same training that I've just watched. And I think you'll really enjoy it. And also, there's some other resources in there that I think will be really helpful. And so I would leave my affiliate link. And that was one of the ways that I started to generate extra income. I also found as well it got me a lot of team members because before that, all I could do was say, join my team or nothing. And then it was very hard for me to train them, even if they did join, because I didn't have the experience. So I found it was really, really good because people were getting better training. I had less work to do. I could use other content ideas, and it got me a good amount of income. Like um, with my community, I pay 40% every single month that the person pays. So you could quite easily over a course of a year with just a couple of referrals a week, it ends up being around $3,000 $4,000 a month extra. And these are people that are getting the right training. It's the same information you're seeing, so they're happy that hey, Ken's referring something that he's personally using. And as well, it stands you. I found it really helped me to position myself along with Ray. I was like, "Hey, I'm working with this guy personally. We have calls. He's coaching me. I get to benefit from him. You can too." And so it sort of it allowed people to see me as, okay, this guy is, he's getting training from these people, from high level resources, from high level people. So yeah, I can see myself joining Ken because, hey, that Richard guy, he doesn't build a network marketing company anymore, but I'd love to be able to get training from him, and Ken can get me to do that. Ken can get me, recommend me to this person. Ken can, and if you ever have like a leader or someone who's, a big team member, just let me know. All it takes is I can just give them a personal welcome when they join. And that sometimes goes a long way. Hey, Ken says a lot of good things about you, says you have a lot of potential. You could, you're a leader. I just wanted to personally welcome you to the community. I hope you really enjoy the resources. Any friend of Ken's is a friend of mine. So straight away that elevates you. Oh wow, Ken's in the inner circle. It's nice to be around people that want to help. So yeah, absolutely. If you have people that either are in your company, you'd like them to get training better, or they're in another company and then they like you, but they're not ready to join your team, you can say, well, hey, listen, if you want to improve your skills, this is really helping me. And that also gave me the option when I would do that. If they joined MLSP, because I was making, $40, $50 a month, I also found that was a way for me to have a fair relationship where if they were asking me questions, if I was giving them some kind of help, and they weren't in my downline, it meant that I wasn't always doing that for free. So I would have people in the same company as me that weren't in my downline, and so they were never going to join me, but they wanted me to answer questions. So this was a way that I could say, hey, listen, I'm happy to once a month give you some time. All I ask in return is that you go through the same resources that I'm going through so that you can educate yourself. And then it also means I get a referral fee, so it keeps it fair for the both of us. And people were very happy at that. Yeah, always detach yourself. Like, I always step back and I see the other person and I see me and I see what both of those people want to accomplish. And I try and find a fair way for everybody. And so I think, okay, if I've got a prospect who likes me or who follows my content, I want to help that person. But also, I have a business to run, I have a family. I can't do that for free. I would lose my house, I would lose my living. If I did it all for free, I would have no time left to make money, and then I would lose. So that's not fair. So, okay, how can I find a way where this person can access what I'm accessing? And I can help them, but I'm also being paid for that. So they feel better that, hey, I'm because I found that if everyone asked for something for free, sometimes it would stop them asking me questions because they're like, oh, I can't ask Richard another question. He's already asked him another five. And so I found that they would ask for help easier because they're like, oh, well, Richard's getting a referral fee. So I feel it's not rude to ask. I would give them better answers because I know this person is serious. They're investing in their education. They are actually doing something to try and improve themselves. And then also it was good that because it was someone else's information, they didn't feel like it was so pushy. I was like, hey, listen, all I know is that I'm accessing these resources and they're really helping me. They're really helping me be a better business owner. They're helping me grow. I've never seen training like this anywhere else. If you genuinely want to get better results in your business, my number one recommendation is the exact same resources that I am consuming on a daily basis. It's like if you had a book, if you read a book and it was fantastic and it changed the way you marketed your business. If someone asked you about marketing, you would say, I read this book. It helped me get this result. I recommend you read that book too. That's it. They wouldn't feel funny about that. There's nothing weird about that. Everybody gets to win. And also, you'll find that if those people, what I found happened in MLSP was If people were in a company or in a business that they weren't quite happy with, they may not tell me at first because they were like, well, Richard just wants me in his team. So they wouldn't really say anything. But then when they got inside the training, they'd start to learn all these new strategies that excited them. But then they didn't want to apply them to their existing company because they weren't really sure about it. Then they would come to me and say, hey, this training is great. I really want to go all in with my company. I just don't feel the company I'm in is in the right fit. What company do you build? Like, where are you applying these strategies? And I found that I would get another team member from that. So it can work both ways. Team members that want better training, people that want better training that become team members. So you end up making more money, and they get the help that they need. You're welcome. Mm, yeah. You can just create little review videos on the school on, go in the full-time blueprint, go in the, in the courses that they get access to. Find a video that you really like, watch some of that video, and then just create a little summary. You could do that every now and again on your YouTube channel or on your social media. Hey, I learned something. Take some people I saw did really well taking quotes. Like I do a quote I can't remember what one was. Something was, oh, one of my favorite quotes was like, we're not the highest version of ourselves we can imagine, we're the lowest version we'll tolerate. And someone took that quote and made a video about it. I just heard something from Richard Matheru and it made me think about my business. Helps going to help me get better. I want to share it with you because I thought it might help you too. He said this quote, and then he explained about how we need to raise our daily standards, and that will raise our minimum results. And so he gave a bunch of suggestions. I love this community. There's lots of lessons like this inside. So I've put a link where you can join that community. In the description area, it's a referral link. So if you do click that, maybe create like a little bonus, or I'll give you a 10-minute strategy session on top, something like that. And then that's easy. That's an easy way to make sales. That's how I did it for years with affiliate systems. So I've done it with ClickFunnels. Um, I created a review video around ClickFunnels. I think that's got around 40,000 views now. It's made me around $70,000, that one video. I did it with a gentleman called Sam Ovens. He actually owns school now, Sam Ovens, but he had a coaching program called the Consulting Accelerator. Best program I've ever taken. He doesn't sell it anymore, unfortunately, but it was the best program I've ever taken. And I created a review of that about the results I was getting, about the help. I had an affiliate link. I made around about $80,000 with that one video. So just by creating a video and showing some result and saying this is where I got it from, I've been able to make a lot of extra money over the years by doing that. And I think it's because as well, it's genuine. You won't see like 50 videos on my website where I'm recommending like 20 different things. I literally only recommend something that I personally use. You want to use email marketing? I use this service. You want to build a community? Use School like I do. I only recommend sort of two or three things, I think, in total. So if you do the same, you recommend one thing that you really enjoy, people don't, they respond really well to that. They don't feel funny about it. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, sure, sure. So there's only really two ad campaigns that work, and that is you drive views to videos, and then you build an audience from those views, and then you retarget them with a direct offer. That can work, and that works better if you have a lower budget. So if you're looking at spending $5 a day, $10 a day, that campaign works the best. If you have a higher budget, then one that works really well is a conversion campaign where you will set up I use it for my Facebook group. So I get people to join my Facebook group. That is what the conversion is set up to be. How many people is this ad getting to join my Facebook group? And so for that, you'd need around sort of $30 a day US, something like that. Um, Both of them won't work really well because we've got to be careful with network marketing. Like Facebook really doesn't like it. So if we let it know, if we talk about a company, if we talk about a product or a company, and they can see that's network marketing, then they will shut the ad down. Sometimes they'll shut the ad account down. So what we've got to do is we've got to try and get someone to raise their hand as a lead and then be specific with the information, one on one. So if I was in a network marketing company and I was wanting to make a sale of my product or the business opportunity, I would do the same thing. I would have videos or resources that were around my personal brand, and I would get people to opt in to something I give them for free. That would bring them into my group so I could have a direct message with them. That's what I'd always be looking for. So, I do the same thing with my ads. I'm like, hey, if you're tired of prospecting, if you're tired of posting, and you want to learn how to have targeted leads, intercept those so they come to you, I've got a bunch of resources around that in my Facebook group. The free resources, I do live trainings, I do Q&As, and I do bonus sessions in there too. Click the link and join the free group. Now, when they're in the group, then I'm able, because Facebook's no longer now watching, now I'm able to say, hey, listen, are you a network marketer, blah, 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 and then I can go into that specifics. So I do the same thing if, let's say, I was growing a travel business. I would maybe create a guide. If, let's say, my brand is I'm trying to help dads take their children to Disney, might be my main focus to do with travel. And so my content is going to be around being a dad. It's going to be around travel. It's going to be around mixing the two. It's going to be around family life. I'm going to create that kind of content. I may create a giveaway. I may do some research and I may find the 5 cheapest ways that you can actually get to Disney, certain deals on flights, certain hotels, certain packages. I'm going to do some research and I'm going to figure those things out. That would be what I would get people to opt in for. So I may create a video around Disney and being a dad, and then I would say, actually, I found 5 different combinations of flights and hotels that can actually save you quite a lot of money. I'm going to put that together in a PDF for you. So if this could get you to Disney sooner, as opposed to later, because it's going to save you money. So click the link, enter your name and email. and I've set it up so that that PDF will be sent straight to you. So now I get people to raise their hand, I get leads. Or I may say, click the link, it'll take to my Facebook group. I've got it inside of there, and that's also a group for dads, Disney dads, right? I'd have a group called Disney Dads. This is a group all around Disney, all around being a dad. I've got a group. There's already 500 of the dads in there. It's a great community, and just for joining, I'll give you a free PDF download, the 5 combinations where you can save the most money and probably go to Disney this year. So that would be my kind of like pitch. So now I can have any kind of content around those topics and I can get them to opt in for something. I can then pick up the individual conversation. You can do videos around that and retarget the audience that watches it. You can go direct to opting in, but that would be what I always start off reverse engineer. I want people on a Zoom call so I can discuss this in person. Usually network marketing, they need a Zoom call to sign up. So, or at least a DM exchange, right? So I want a DM exchange or a Zoom call. Well, how am I going to get them to that? Well, I need them in my group so that I can DM them and I can really pick up the conversation. I need their email so I can send them content. Right. Okay. So I'm going to create a lead capture page where they give me their name and email, and then they can join my Facebook group. Perfect. Next step. How do I get them in my Facebook group? Well, if this is a Facebook group for dads that love Disney, I have to create an ad that speaks to those people and gives them an immediate benefit in that area. So, what would a dad want to go to Disney with? They want to save money, they'd want to create the best experience. I will create something inside of my group that speaks to that. So, you can see how I work from the back position through to the front. Now it makes sense. Hey, here's a video with 2 ways that you can save money as a dad and go to Disney and have the best time. If you want the other 3, I've put them in my Facebook group. The link's in the description, ready for you to join. They click it, name and email. They're in my Facebook group. I have a conversation with them. Hey, here's the free PDF I offered you. By the way, I'm partnered with a company that actually provides vacations to Disney for dads, and you save around 20% Would you like some more information on that? So it's all start to finish is very, very simple. Yeah, so video views and then retarget people who've watched 50% or more. I'd have the video around 2 minutes in length. That works really well, especially for product. Or higher budget, it would be a text ad that goes straight to a lead capture page and then brings them to my group. Those are the structures of the ad. So video views, retarget people who've watched 50%. You can do that at $5 a day. If you've got higher budget, you can go conversion ad, which text seems and a picture seems to work better, where I explain what it is, they click it, and then they go into the Facebook group. You can't, the problem, the thing with ads is, like with bigger companies, they don't mind the front end profit. So if it's a big company and they just want to sell product, getting a new customer means that they're probably going to get a higher lifetime value. They don't have a cash flow issue. So if it's costing them, say, $20 to make $10 at the front end, they'll take that loss if it means that that customer is likely to buy another 6 months of auto ship or another package or whatever. They know the lifetime value of their customer. So their lifetime value of a customer may be $94. So they know over the course of time, $94 is the average they'll make from that person. So they can spend $20, $30 to acquire a new customer, lose on the first order, but know that they will make that money back. The problem is for individuals like you and I, we tend not to have like a massive mountain of cash that we can just deplete down. So for us, we have to have more specific, sort of smarter ads so that we can make money back fairly quickly. It's okay to break even. Like if we're paying out as much as it costs us to get a new customer, that's okay, because that customer is going to buy some more things. But we don't ever want to be losing money on the front end. That's difficult for us to kind of, it can give cash flow issues. So that's why I recommend having a different approach to, say, a larger company. They can just dip into resources. The ad campaign doesn't really matter that much as long as they get somebody. For us, we want a good person at a good price, so we don't have to lose money at the front end. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and to acquire a customer, we have to have a really high budget. Like, every time you want more commitment, you'll see that it costs more. So, if I set an ad campaign up and what I want to do is get them to download something for free, like, I can get people to join my Facebook group and be on my email list for around about $7 or $8 a person. So $7 or $8 a person, they'll join my email list, they'll join my Facebook group. So I know that amount. If I change that ad campaign and I want it to be that they register for a webinar, maybe they register for a Zoom call, it jumps up to around about $50, $60 a person. If I want that person to actually buy something, even a small product or take a trial, it jumps up to around about $90 or $100 a person. And so if you think about, if we want to acquire, say, 10 customers, that's $1,000. And so for a big brand, not a problem. They can spend 10, 20, 30 grand in ads. They can get 20, 30 customers a month. By month number two, month number three, that's okay. That money's been paid back. But for us, if we spend 10 grand to acquire, some customers, and then something happens in the company and the orders don't go through, or the Facebook ad doesn't work properly, something happens, technology breaks, we paid the money, the leads didn't come in, after 1 month, you go, I just lost 10 grand. And so for us, that's like a big deal. Whereas for a company, they go, we made 1 million this month anyway. It doesn't really matter. It's only 10 grand. So that's why we have to go for, at the beginning, we go for the lowest price possible, which is a video view or someone opting into something for free, something easy. The more commitment we ask for in the ad, the higher the price it's going to be to get that commitment. And so we have to again consider, how much are we willing to lose if this doesn't work. Hmm. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Just let me know when you've got some questions ready. If they're quick questions, I can answer them in an audio message on social, or if it's something like there's a lot of information, just let me know. I trust people. People don't take advantage of me, anything like that. So, I've got good people like yourself. So yeah, just let me know when you're ready, and I'll be more than happy. You're welcome. You're welcome, Ken. You're welcome. And I'm glad I've helped. And take care. And I will speak to you again soon, I'm sure, my friend. You're welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure. Bye for now, my friend. Bye bye.